Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's me, your favorite news anchor. I'm here today with something a little different. You see, over the past few years or so, covering real-world news and stuff is my job here at the JNN, but from time to time that gets a little exhausting. So today we're here with something a little fun. And speaking of fun, let's take a moment to talk about gaming. Video games are not only fun, but they're also pretty big business. Right now, the gaming industry is pulling in revenue greater than all the professional sports leagues, all of Hollywood, and the music industry. I say combined. And that's a pretty big deal. When you think about it, it kind of makes sense, considering that video games are basically the only form of entertainment that puts you directly in the driver's seat of whatever experience you decide to have. Most of us have had some of our first experiences with playing video games as children, which, again, makes absolute sense when you think about it. When you play a video game, you can kind of be anything you want. You can be a race car driver, and in some games you can make the fastest, most racist car. You can be an athlete in like every sport whenever you feel like it. Shit, you can even be a goddamn space marine killing demons and shit on Mars. The possibilities are endless. And we're not even talking about like those massive sandbox games with super diverse and creative communities. Now, of course, as gamers, we all eventually grow up and develop our tastes, but every now and again it's nice to take a look back and remember where you came from. All that said, this is my very first video where I'm actually going to sit and play some games. So I found it appropriate to start from my very humble beginnings. So without further ado, my name is Jermaine, and these are my favorite childhood PC games. I say the first time I have ever played any Tony Hawk game or have seen skateboarding in any capacity at all was when I was 5 years old. The very next day, the X Games was on TV, and I was mesmerized by the Vert Skaters.
Still going. This is Bob.
I personally have been skating ever since I was about 5 or 6 years old. It's just kind of a part of my life now. Sometimes when I want to go skate IRL, and God forbid it's raining, I'll go scratch that itch by playing a skateboarding game. Of course. These days we have our pick of the litter of skate sims, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 was one of my hood classics on PC from middle school on, because I later found a perfect copy from my connections on the dark web that could run perfectly from a USB stick. Seriously, I kept a backup copy with me to run on school computers with absolutely no problem at all when I wasn't doing shit else.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game.
The very first thing I did when I got to the skate shop was create my character. My default name for every character I make in any game is Jerry, which is short for Jermaine. It isn't, but that's what we're going to do today. And then I decided to make a very large individual and make him 7 feet tall. Big Jerry. Now that I'm tall, handsome, and have my signature mustache, we had to get me some drip. I was looking mad bummy out here. I had to make sure the fit was right. I had to make sure we were still good. Once I was properly kitted up,
Sin City was a maybe.
I decided to start my professional skateboarding career the way God intended, by causing as much chaos as possible towards innocent, hardworking union laborers. Once I was greeted by the goals I had to accomplish to move on, I started thinking about the strats. For most of these games I'm playing here today, I've given myself a maximum of 1 hour on the timer before it was time to move on to the next game. Knowing for this first level that I only needed to complete 4 goals to move on to the next area meant that I only needed to play the easiest goals for this location. In this case being the 3 high score goals and 50-50ing TC's rail. Beating the pro, high, and 6 scores pretty much all happened in one combo, and then I 50-50 TC's rail right up next. Therefore, passing all 4 of the necessary goals to unlock the next level and move on.
What he did was he tried to make it, so he slammed.
So, and I decided to end the run there. Once I looked back at my completed goals and this sick pic of me grinding the rail, it was time to move on to Canada. Canada, home of cultural institutions such as Bret the Hitman Hart, the Trailer Park Boys,
Julian!
geese, and bagged milk.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Once I had quit my job and landed wherever the hell this was, I immediately realized how actually rusty I am at playing this game on keyboard by slamming about 20 seconds into a 2-minute run.
So he slammed.
I started cooking a nice combo shortly after and, well, immediately fucked that one up as well. So then I restarted my run. I spent this next run completing the 3 score goals to put me halfway towards where I needed to be, yet it took me longer than I wanted because my skills weren't upgraded enough and I slammed on a particularly high scoring combo.
He slammed.
Yet I still got the job done with about 30 seconds to spare. Since I was about halfway done, next up I decided to tackle some goals individually, with the easiest being to get Chuck unstuck. After Big Jerry freed Chuck from the frozen light pole, I then fell and failed multiple times to tackle the deceptively hard nose grind around the horn, until I stuck this.
Vertical.
Look at this. Can he put a card in between it?
Look at you. He can barely contain himself.
I decided to finish up with getting the elusive secret tape, which on this level isn't too hard considering that you already flipped the switch to raise a log chute above the cabin at the back of the level, yet it's still kind of a pain in the ass and took me a few tries. Once I had grabbed the secret tape, I had decided to end that run then and there and say good riddance to cold ass Canada. The Rio Ruckus, a contest in Brazil, was up next, and I was required to place at least a bronze medal to advance to the next level. With these contests, you get 3 runs, each lasting 60 seconds long, with a combined total of 2 of your possible 3 scores counting towards your final score, with the top 3 places winning a medal. For the next 20 minutes, I would try and fail miserably at putting together a decent contest. I'd either bail twice during a run, put together a low-scoring run, or put together a good run, and then shit the bed the rest of the way.
So he slammed.
Big Jerry was having a real tough time out there. Once I was now thoroughly nourished, I then locked in and put together a decent first run by putting together a good 113,000 point combo, and even though I fell once, I ended this run with enough points for first place. Things were looking up for Big Jerry. Run 2 started off strong, but I fell like 4 times, and it was pretty safe to say this run was nothing but straight bullshit. Like, I couldn't get off a single combo, and now everyone was laughing at me. This is not good. Heat 3 was do or die, and I definitely skated like it. I started off with a modest combo and then immediately got pitched to the part of the park where it's easier to get a high scoring combo and danced for about a lap. I was now at 100,000 points and feeling good. I slammed, but then I very shortly got into another combo and then slammed again. And then I started panicking. With about 7 seconds left, I put together another real quick John, putting our overall score at some 148,000 points, which is hopefully enough for second. Well, I ended up placing in first, and pretty convincingly so. Big Jerry had won the real ruckus. Now, at this point, the game starts requiring even more goals to get to the next level, and I am not going to get that greasy to complete the whole game when we have more games to look at, so it's kind of time to move on. Speed, going fast, eating asphalt. Ever since I was a small child, I very much enjoyed watching auto racing. I was obsessed with Jeff Gordon and the Rainbow Warrior car. I think I would have been a Dale Earnhardt fan had I been a little bit older, but I started watching NASCAR a few years after his death. But that Rainbow Warrior number 24 car was fucking beautiful, man. I had the poster, I had the diecast, I even had the Mega Block set. My first time ever playing a racing video game as a wee little boy was LEGO Racers on the PC. Developed by High Voltage Software and released all the way back in '99, it absolutely made sense why LEGO Racers was one of the absolute goated racing games of all time. It combined two of my favorite things: racing and building shit. When I started the game for the first time in like 20 some odd years, I was greeted by the boss of the first circuit, otherwise known as Captain Redbeard. I then immediately did what you're supposed to do once you play this game. I made my own player. Once I had created my own minifigure complete with his own baseball cap and signature mustache, we now had to create a vehicle for the Germain News Network's very first sponsored driver, Fast Jerry. Just look at him. It took a solid minute to consort all of my ancient knowledge of the dark arts of aerodynamics. I approached Adrian Newey levels of sophisticated engineering to craft a machine worthy of championship caliber. The Jerrymobile. Once we had finished, took the Jerrymobile to the test track and hit some sick drifts. And then decided it was time to race. So, to unlock new car sets and parts to build with, you have to beat the prospective boss of the, if I remember correctly, 7 possible 4 race championship circuits in this game. And the first one you have to beat is this guy. I started this race off in 4th and immediately dropped a place, and then quickly started fighting back through the pack for 2nd. I quickly lost the place, but then I teleported to 1st and breathed a giant sigh of relief. Alright, so I should probably explain to you what just happened there. This game is a Mario Kart clone, meaning it is one of many games that had some form of go-kart racing with power-ups. And this game's power-up meta is a bit different. there's 4 different types of items in LEGO Racers that affect drivers in different ways. The red brick items are to attack other drivers, the yellow ones slow other drivers down, blue ones shield drivers from the other power-ups, and the green ones give you temporary speed boosts. You can also make all 4 of the items stronger and or last longer with these white bricks, and by stacking 3 of those white bricks on top of whatever you already have, maxes it out. So what I just did was stack 3 white bricks on top of the green brick, opening a wormhole to first place. So once I had secured first place, I peeled the fuck off. Like, I was not trying to stick around and fight through the pack. Lap 2 begins and the Jerrymobile is just absolutely bending corners. Little did I notice, Captain Redbeard was catching up behind me and then absolutely slapped the shit out of me with the lightning beam power up, and I am now in second place going into lap 3, which isn't too bad considering that things could be much worse. So then naturally, they got much worse. I am now in third after getting absolutely mollywopped, and I let some very bad driving and even worse decision making have me eventually end the race in 4th place. I was now in 4th place for the championship with only 3 points, and then the game just decided I was just straight up ass. Fast Jerry had a lot of work to do to live up to his name. This time I started my race off in a very modest 3rd place and got pieced up by the middle of the pack, but fought my way back to 3rd, all while continuing the same goated strat of stacking white bricks and green bricks and teleporting straight to 1st. Staying in 1st wasn't easy, as you can see here, by Redbeard lighting my ass up with a cannonball like he was just spawning them out of thin air. I was now in 2nd for a considerable amount of lap 2 and had to drive like hell, as 3rd place was trying to catch me slipping, but I stayed calm and continued to once again utilize the goated strat. When I got in 1st this time, we were on lap 3 and not very far away from Redbeard in 2nd, so I decided to change my strategy to just defending against his cannonballs with the shield power-up, which worked for a second, until I got past and eventually ended this race of the circuit as the runner-up. Fast Jerry was now in 2nd place for the championship. Not bad. Race 2 was the Dark Force Dash, which was exactly what it sounded like. I started this race off in a modest 5th place and spent half of the lap fighting for 4th. After Green Brick, I was fighting Redbeard for 1st. After a bit of fighting for my life, I was barely in 2nd place, heading into lap 2. My strat for most of lap 2 was to maintain my position and stay vigilant for green bricks. I raced this lap kind of sloppily, but I passed Redbeard for 1st into lap 3 and was now a sitting duck. Being 1st on lap 3 meant I had to race like hell, and that is exactly what I did. Redbeard caught up to me about halfway through the lap and hit me with a cannonball, causing the driver behind him to slip by me as well. I was now on the ropes here, but I stayed calm, took 1st, and crossed my fingers for the remainder of this lap. In the championship standings, we were now tied for 1st. Alright. Race 3 was the Magma Moon Marathon, which was a track on a blue alien planet. This was probably the most miserable start I've had to a race thus far. I spent most of this lap in the middle of the pack, yet again fighting for my life. I ended up getting absolutely clapped and dropped to 4th. Stayed pretty cool and collected and took back 3rd, heading into the final lap while passing 2nd with a green power-up right after crossing the finish line. Lap 3 was now a vicious fight between both championship leaders. I spent most of this lap on the tail of Redbeard and defending for 3rd as well, but kept it relatively calm and collected, and then some smooth driving and pretty smart decisions put me in 1st, yet I got passed very briefly towards the finish. But got bailed out yet again by a green power-up, causing me to win this race in dramatic fashion. I started this race off in 3rd, but then engaged in full elbows out racing. And then from there, pretty much just went on a nice Sunday drive for the rest of lap 1. On lap 2, I was just minding my business when, out of nowhere, I was just gently moved to 2nd by Redbeard, so then I immediately retaliated, which in hindsight was the horrible choice. In this game, there are multiple secret shortcuts on each of the 12 tracks, some of which are accessible by some very smart driving, and others are accessible by a cannonball power-up. So instead of fighting with the rest of those dickheads, I decided to go down the shortcut, hit a green power-up, and as soon as I got out of the tunnel, took the lead into the final lap. I noticed the red dot on the mini-map, which had represented Redbeard, had fallen into like 4th, so I hauled even more ass during this lap and ran right into the shortcut, making me so far ahead that nobody could really do anything. I was 7 seconds faster than anyone else. And with that, Fast Jerry had won his first championship. And as a bonus, I had unlocked all of the parts and the chassis of Captain Redbeard's car, and can now use them to build a new car. Which is exactly what I did. Using Captain Redbeard's chassis, I had now started constructing the next generational feat of automotive racing engineering, the Jerry Mobile 2. Once it was finished, it was time to race once again. This time around, the champ of this circuit that we had to beat was King Kahua. This time around, I looked up a guide for the game. Suddenly, got reminded of the ancient strategies. Now, I feel like a dickhead for forgetting this, but if you push the accelerate key at the right moment, you get a rocket start, which will give you a massive advantage at the start of the race, which I then used to completely fucking annihilate the competition on the first lap. I was out in first for a bit when King Kahua got in front of me, and I got promptly blasted to smithereens by me. I was having a nice Sunday drive when he eventually caught up to me and passed me for first, which was cool anyway, because I quickly channeled the spirit of Dale Earnhardt and just quickly punted that bozo aside and regained first, heading into lap 2. I spent a good portion of the second lap defending for my life and got passed anyway. With some brilliant driving, I took back first, but then like an absolute idiot, crashed right into one of the crocodiles and cost myself first. I caught right up to him and hit him with a cannonball, took back first and tried to put a considerable amount of distance between us. Lap 3 had started and I was back in first. Brilliant! I was in first on the final lap and all I had to do is just keep it pushing and put together a great lap. Well, like an absolute idiot, I did it again. Before I hit the crocodile, I grabbed a couple white bricks, just in case I needed them. And it looks like now, in second place, a little more than halfway through the final lap, was the place I'd needed. So I waited for my very narrow window and then released the homing missile of death and smacked the absolute shit out of King Kahua. Put almost a full second of time between us, and then took the checkered flag. I have no idea why I'm winning races in such dramatic fashion, but I can't really complain because this time I've started a championship in first place. Race 2 was at the Royal Knights Raceway, which was a track that was themed after one of the many medieval-themed LEGO playsets. And this time around, by spamming green power-ups, I was able to put distance between me and everyone else and enjoy the first lap in first place without any incident. On lap 2, King Kahua caught right up to me and hit me with a cannonball, but then I punted him aside. I defended first, fought with him for a second, and then rushed past him with a green power-up to get to first place, heading into the final lap. I continued to haul absolute ass on this lap and grabbed 3 white bricks. For some reason, Kahua caught up with me once more towards the end of this lap, but I was once again bailed out by opening up a portal teleported straight to the checkered flag. We are still in first place, but are now 20 points ahead of the lead. Business as usual with the rocket start getting me out in front, but I unfortunately noticed that this track was very noticeably slippery and hard to handle. Kahua ran over the green item I was trying to pick up and then promptly left me in the dust. I was now spending a considerable amount of this lap holding on to a green item that I could have used but didn't, which left me fighting for third place. Luckily, into lap 2, I had enough white bricks stockpiled that when I ran over a red item, I had enough for the homing missile, which I then used to take out second place. I was now halfway into lap 2 in no man's land, with a considerable amount of space between third and too much space in front to catch up to first. Finishing in second meant that I was still mathematically first in the championship, so I just put my head down and put the pedal to the metal. Pretty much ran the rest of the lap with no incident and just headed into the final lap in second place. On the final lap, even though I knew second was going to be enough to stay in the championship lead, I still drove like a man possessed. This time around, I took the shortcut that I ignored twice, which was the smartest thing I could have done because I teleported in front of King Kahua and took the checkered flag in first. We have now won 3 races in a row, 30 points ahead of second, and now, if I didn't place any lower than third in the final race, I was mathematically the championship winner. The last race of this series was at Amazon Adventure Alley, which reminded me of an Indiana Jones Lego set. The start of this race was more business as usual. as I smoked everyone with a rocket start. I was out in front and got past very briefly, but then undercut Kahua for first. Later during this lap, I was passed yet again, but stayed on King Kahua's bumper into lap 2. Only to get passed again and then waste a red item like a moron, a dummy, a goof, a buffoon even. Into the tunnel, I grabbed a green item, passed him, only to make the most sorry mistake you could ever do in a high-stakes moment like this, which ended up punting me down to 3rd place. I gently nudged the guy in second aside, and for the rest of this lap ended up in a 3-way fight for first, heading into the final lap. I defended for hell and then enjoyed a nice couple seconds in first, and I got passed again, later bumped into a wall, attacked with another red item, and then promptly punted down to 4th place. But then I caught back up, pushed everyone aside only to end up fighting and finishing the race in 2nd place. But I can't complain though, because 3 first place finishes and then the last being in 2nd meant I had more than enough points to win this championship. And just like that, we had won the King Kahua Cup. Alright, this one was a very fun one to come back to, and there's much more than what I just showed you. But yeah, I don't have much else to say here, but the fact that it's Lego, it's racing, and it's good. Alright, we're moving on. We are going to spend a very sizable chunk of this video to talk about a series of games created by one of the most beloved and legendary names in kids' PC games. We're also going to spend a very large portion of this video to talk about sports. Sports. Sports is the very fiber of all we stand for. It keeps our spirits alive. Many of us watch them, some of us don't. Sports remain a pretty strong part of our culture as humans. Just about every civilization on Earth that you can think of has some form of physical game or sport that's either played or observed, whether it be recreationally or professionally. I mean, shit, there are some people that make millions of dollars to talk about sports on TV. We now begin the Backyard Sports Power Hour with baseball. Baseball, the game of patience. I'm a little bit surprised that I'm actually a fan of this sport. It is often described as the most boring sport of all time. Just 9 guys all standing around just waiting for something to happen. I think my love of sports first started when I played Backyard Baseball 2001 as a kid. Its main hook was that not only did it have all the backyard kids that you knew and loved from the 1997 game, you could also pick selected professional players of the time as kids. Groundbreaking stuff here. Today, we're going to check out Backyard Baseball 2003. I had obtained an ISO of the game via my connections on the dark web. Mounted and installed and launched the game with absolutely no problem at all. And was instantly hit by this nostalgic intro with imagined versions of Randy Johnson, Chipper Jones, and Ichiro Suzuki, all as kids. Once I hit the clubhouse, I immediately went to the player cards for the reason that I chose this one over Backyard Baseball 2001. 2008 World Series champ, Jimmy Rollins.
I find the term shortstop offensive. I prefer to be called a hot and paired stop.
This game's roster has guys like Jason Giambi, Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, Ichiro Suzuki, Mike Piazza.
My name is Piazza, not Pizza. But I like pizza okay, I guess. Don't call me pizza or anything. I mean, it's not like I haven't heard that one before.
And Randy Johnson. You know, the guy that's famous for killing a bird.
Yeah, I know I'm tall for a baseball player, but you're kind of short for a coach.
Boom. Roasted.
After I settled in, I immediately signed up to coach a team in season mode. You see, I was kind of the Bill Belichick of the backyard sports games back in the day. I have assembled dynasty teams to earn multiple championships across all of the season modes, and for this video, we were going to start anew. I elected to play a 9-inning season on hard because I am a big boy, and I picked Steel Stadium as my home field because the shallow center field makes it a hitter's park, and then I moved on to pick a team and drop my players. Of course, because I am a maximum ball knower, my first pick was, of course, the greatest backyard sports athlete of all time, Pablo Sanchez.
Escógeme. Yo juego muy bien.
He cannot speak a lick of English, but he will absolutely get the job done.
Excelente.
Next up, I selected Pete Wheeler, with him being the fastest player in the game.
You want me to do what now?
I picked Angela Del Vecchio as my ace pitcher because in seasons prior she has been incredibly capable of controlling the game on the mound, and every now and then can hit for solid power too.
I got some serious skills here.
I picked Ahmed Khan up next because he's one of the best contact hitters in the game. I naturally picked J-Roll because, come on.
Cool.
Next up, I picked Dmitry Petrovic as my catcher. Keisha Phillips because she can hit hard and run very fast, meaning we now have 4 people fast enough to play small ball. Next up, I picked Luann Louie because even though she is one of the youngest players in the game and cannot hit for power like some of the other kids, I still needed somebody to play backup pitcher for Angela.
Somebody say thank you.
Last up, I picked Jocinda Smith and began my season. I didn't have to make too many adjustments because everyone was naturally where I'd put them on the field anyway, so then I started the game.
Hello there, legions of baseball fanatics. This is Sunny Day and Vinny the Gooch here at Ekman Acres, where 10 balls have already been lost this season to the next door neighbor, old Mrs. Cranky Pants. Today, we'll see a close matchup between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Florida Marlins. Before we start the game, Sonny, I'd like to read an excerpt from my new book, I Love the Baseball by Phineas T. Gooch, Chapter 1. I love the baseball. What I love most about baseball is it's 100% American, except for the parts that were taken from other countries. That's great, Benny. That's from my new book, I Love the Baseball by Phineas T. Gooch, available at fine bookstores and gas stations around the world. It's time for some baseball!
Since we weren't at our home field, we had to bat first. And like an absolute idiot, I forgot to adjust my batting order, so I was at the mercy of whatever they already picked. Luann Louie was my first baseman for this game and today my leadoff hitter. Chases a first pitch fastball, making the count 0-1. Throws the exact same pitch and chases it again, making the count 0-2. Third pitch, Luann lays down a bunt and hustles on to first. Let's fucking go. Pete Wheeler at the plate now, and Luann steals first on a 1-0 pitch, and we are now in scoring position 4 pitches into the game. Working on a 3-2 count now, Pete lays down a bunt as well and gets on first. Ahmed Khan comes up to bat next, and after a 1-1 count, flubs a little ground out to first, with Pete and Luann both making it to scoring position. Pablo Sanchez pops up a fly ball on the first pitch of the next at-bat, making it 2 outs, and then Keisha Phillips pops up a gimme of a fly ball out to deep center field, making it 3, meaning we had stranded poor Pete and Luann, the only 2 kids that have effectively done their job so far, in scoring position, And now the horrors of the Phillies straining dudes in scoring position during the 2022 World Series are now persisting. Bottom of the first now, and Angelo Del Vecchio, one of the best backyard kids skilled at pitching,
Especially on days ending with Y.
was on the mound as my ace pitcher. A bit anticlimactic here, but I struck out their lead hitter by working the inside corner for 3 straight pitches.
Say goodbye to another hitter. This kid's like some kind of awesome pitching robot thingy. Is that all you got?
Their pitcher comes out next and pops one out to deep left, but Pablo gets under it in time for the second out of this frame.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Working a 1-2 count with the next batter, and Angelo throws a nice left hook on the high inside corner, which this little freak just gets a piece of. Ahmed can't make it there in time, but the runner gets a little overzealous and eventually gets caught trying to hustle back after getting caught in a pickle.
Say goodbye, cause she's out. And that'll do it in the first inning.
Angelo was up next to bat and gets on first with a walk with 4 straight pitches. I guess they were scared of her. J-Roll singles it out next with Angelo getting tagged out on second for our first out of this frame, with Dimitri starting at a 1-0 count. J-Roll immediately steals second to get in a scoring position.
You gotta keep your toes in this game, Sonny. And the runner is safe. Takes the stretch. She delivered. Ball 2.
And then gambles this steal to third, which would not have worked if it wasn't for this errant throw, allowing him to get to third safely. He strikes out swinging, and up next, so does Jacinda Smith to end this part of the inning. And once again, I am confronted by the horrors. Bottom of the second, Angelo strikes out the next batter in 3 straight for the first out and faces Cliff Floyd, who lays down a bunt on the first pitch at bat. Dimitri hustles to get to the ball and throws him out in time for out number 2. Jorge Garcia, one of the backyard kids, was up next. And Angelo put him out of his misery with 3 straight.
Now, a swing. Strike. Another one down.
To end the inning and keep it scoreless thus far. Luan is at bat and puts down a 1-1 bunt on a zigzag pitch, and subsequently fails to get on first in time. But on a very first pitch, slow motion pitch, Pete Wheeler had it perfectly scouted and lays down a bunt and ends up safe on first to earn us a batting power up. Pete then immediately steals second while Ahmed Khan is staring at a 1-0 errant zigzag. With the count 2-0, Pete tries to steal third but just barely misses that tag there.
He's caught in a pickle.
But ends up back on second. Working on a 3-0 count now, Pete takes off yet again and almost certainly gets caught. But a very bad decision by the third baseman to throw home instead of making the play to tag Pete led to putting him in scoring position for a 3rd time this game. Ahmed unfortunately pops up a can of corn, and with 2 outs, I was once again reliving the horrors. Pablo Sanchez was up to bat. With a 1-0 count, Pablo drives home the first run of this game with a crazy bunt, leading to an RBI double. With Keisha at bat, the Marlins decided that they needed to switch pitchers, which wasn't a bad idea because at this point, the starting pitcher today had allowed too many hits this early into the game. Keisha had flied out to center field for the 3rd out of this frame, thus ending this inning with a 1-run lead. Nothing really too crazy in the bottom of the 3rd, as Angie pretty much gets out of this inning with 5 straight pitches, which ain't too shabby at all.
That's all, folks. That's it for the 3rd inning. The Phillies have the lead, up by 1.
It's Angela's turn at bat in the 4th after drawing a walk her first time out. And after showing an enormous amount of patience here with a 3-1 count, looking like she might draw another walk, and just fucking smashed it, baby, right into the neighbor's yard.
Goodbye, baseball! Aloha means goodbye, baby! Bada-boom!
Up next, J-Roll then flies out at first for the first out of this frame, and then Dimitri strikes out swinging in 5 pitches. And then after Jacinda fails to get to first, we start the bottom of the 4th. This inning begins pretty solid as Jimmy throws out the first hitter after grabbing up a little chopper to the hole. And then Angela, my ace pitcher, immediately gives up a 1-pitch home run. And then Jacinda, Lord have mercy, could not get under a pop fly in time to award the Mariners their second hit of the game. Things get slightly scary here when the runner on first steals second, and due to an errant throw by Dimitri, tries for third, but eventually gets tagged out in a pickle for the second out. Angela then regains her poise and strikes out the next batter to successfully bail herself out to end the 4th inning. Top of the 5th here, and Luann Louie lays down another bunt and hustles to first, and then successfully steals second on a 1-0 pitch while Pete's at bat, who also lays down a nice bunt and then hustles to first. Up next on a solid 2-0 pitch, Ahmed Khan just blasts one into the neighbor's yard to put us up by 3. Up next is possibly the world's greatest Mexican, who then promptly blasts a 2-0 pitch into the neighbor's yard.
The round tripper, folks! That one put a hole in the hole zone, sonny. Hasta la vista, bola!
To put us up 6-1. Keisha then flies out next, followed by Angela, whom also does so. And then J-Roll strikes out with a full count to end the top of the 5th.
The Phillies have the lead, up by 5.
Cliff Floyd is tagged out after a first pitch bunt straight to first. Jorge Garcia is tagged out as well after a little blooper. And the next kid is tagged out after a little chopper to third, therefore making another 3 up and 3 down. To begin the top of the 6th, Dmitry Petrovich is walked in a full count, but then gets thrown out while trying to steal second while Jacinda's at bat, whom also strikes out after a full count. With 2 outs now, Luann Louie gets on base after yet another bunt.
He comes center, the delivery! Ball 1. Tries to steal! I could have done that. Makes it!
And steals on a 1-1 count while Pete's at bat, whom also, guess what, gets on base with a bunt as well. Ahmed Khan then strands both on base with us up by 5 to enter the bottom of the 6th, so it didn't even really matter. A very uneventful bottom of the 6th here with one kid getting thrown out.
From the windup and the pitch. Strike 3. Another one down. Is that all you got?
Struck out and flown out to make it another 3 up, 3 down inning. And then it was time for the 7th inning stretch. Pablo flies out, Keisha strikes out, and then Angela strikes out to end the top of the 7th. Angela gives up her second hit of the game in 7 innings on a 2-0 pitch. And then Angela gives up her third hit of the game due to Pete making a really bad throw on this defensive play with both runners now advancing. The one on third gets tagged out after getting a little greedy, leaving us with 1 out and 1 runner in scoring position. Angie then strikes up the next batter up, and then Cliff Floyd is thrown out to stop the bleeding.
That'll end the inning. 1 left on. The Phillies have charged ahead here, up by 5.
J-Roll pops up a little infield fly on a 2-1 count. Dimitri strikes out on a corkscrew pitch after a full count. And then Jacinda, bum ass, flies out again to end the top of the 8th. After throwing 51 pitches for 7 innings and only allowing 3 hits and 1 run, which is actually a fantastic start, all things considered, I decided it was time to let Angela have a rest, and then brought little Luann Louie to the mound as my closing pitcher. She starts off her closing effort strong by striking out Jorge Garcia, who has now gone 0-3 for this game, and then the next 2 hitters fly out to end the 8th. Top of the 9th here, Luann flies out and Pete bunts himself to first,
The offering. Strike!
and then
Goes
steals
for it.
first on a 1-0 pitch.
And he is safe! A bold move by the manager, Sonny.
And Ahmed gets on base when the Marlins try for a 3-1 double play, which doesn't work because Pete hustles to third. Pablo Sanchez, once again, looking at a 1-2 curveball, blasts the ball into the neighbor's yard to now make the score 9-1 in the bottom of the 9th. Keisha Phillips finally gets on base after going 0-4 today. Angela then pops up a fly ball, which they then get under. Jimmy and Keisha both get on base after a little ground ball gets flubbed just past the pitcher's mound, and then we are eventually tagged out at second to end the top of the 9th. Bottom of the 9th here, and we have 3 outs to go here to end the game. Out number 1 comes after a 1-ball, 2-strike blooper hops towards third. Pete then fails to get under a routine pop fly. Then when he eventually collects it, this disgustingly bad throw then leads to us giving up 3 bases in a single hit. Damn. This error and subsequent lack of coverage at home plate gives up a run. But unfazed, Luann throws out the next runner at third for the second out, and then takes care of a bunt sent right towards her for out number 3 to end the game.
The Phillies win today! 9-2. What an outstanding game this has been! A victory these kids won't soon forget. They played hard and got what they deserved. Until next time, this is Sunny Day and Vinny the Gooch, signing off.
We had won our very first game of the season in pretty convincing fashion. We had put up some pretty respectable numbers in the process. But now it's time to move on and play our next game in the series. Soccer, the world sport. Soccer is one of the most fun games you can ever play. As a matter of fact, you don't really need much to get one little game of soccer started. You can just kind of go out in any grassy field or abandoned lot with a bunch of friends, a ball, maybe something to set up a goal, and you have yourself a good time. Right now, you can catch a Premier League game or FIFA tournament matches or friendlies very easily on National Network Television here in the States. Growing up, I didn't really have an interest in soccer because I didn't really know shit about it. Like, I couldn't find a soccer game on TV anywhere. It was astounding. It's kind of fascinating to me to have watched American cable networks actually start broadcasting big soccer games, because the world's biggest sport is now grown even bigger. This time around, we will be looking at Backyard Soccer MLS Edition. As soon as I hit the clubhouse, this time around I didn't go meet the players. No disrespect to any of the pro players, but because I didn't really get to grow up watching soccer, I didn't know who anyone but Kobe Jones was.
Hi, I'm Kobe Jones. I make my living playing soccer, and there's nothing like better than scoring goals. Here on PBS Kids, my goal is to help kids learn and grow by hosting Jakers, The Adventures of Piggly-Winks,
which is information you would only know if you grew up without cable or, like, I don't know, in Canada. Just what is the deal with Canada? What are they doing up there? I signed up to coach my team, this time the Mighty Melonheads, and drafted my team of some of the fastest backyard kids, and started my season.
Hello again, all you soccer fans. Welcome to another action-packed season of Backyard Soccer's Thrills and Spills. This is Sunny Day here, ready to bring you another exciting game here at Steel Stadium. Joining me is my esteemed colleague from across the pond, Earl Grey.
Why, thank you for the kind words, Sonny. It's a pleasure to be here in the States, witnessing this extraordinary event.
Today's matchup is between the Crazy Hornets and the Mighty Melonheads.
This is the Melonheads' first season with us at the Backyard Soccer League. While I'm sure they have been practicing, nothing can prepare a team for their first game. But they do have a great coach and a love for football. That is all they need.
Let's get ready to rock! The Hornets will start the match. Goes in and press.
Got him!
White frees it up.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out.
Maintains the dribble. Heads up play by the defense. Drops it. Cranks it. Nicky!
What was that?
Good.
Okay, so I'm gonna spoil the game. The rest of it was just like this. Like, it was a straight route. It wasn't even fair.
There's that one. Settles it. I'm open. Moves forward.
Fine control there.
Rattles the crossbar. It rebounds out. Heads up play by the defense. Dishes it out. Here's a shot. Vicky!
She picked her spot and tucked it away beautifully.
Here's a chance in the area. Punishes the net. The Melonheads will restart the game.
Can they rebound after giving up a soft goal? I believe they can. Nicely brought under control.
Cranks it. It's in the back of the net.
She has completed the hat trick. Vicky is really putting on a display.
Tests the goalie. Clears that one out of the box. A square pass. Vicky pokes it free. Here's a shot. Punishes the net.
What a bullet that was.
That's all for the first half. Our Melonheads deserve to have those big heads today, folks, as they lead the game by a score of 4-1. Go Melonheads!
Sonny, what can I say? I am speechless. They have such a fantastic lead that it speaks for itself.
I did good, right? Score!
The goalie could do nothing to stop that one.
Here's a shot. Settles it. I got this one. Ricky pokes it free. Cranks it. And a score!
What a bullet that was.
The Hornets restart the game. Settles the ball. Ricky pokes it free. Heads up play by the defense. He drives it. It's gone over the line.
Lovely hat trick.
To keep it in play. Heads up play by the defense. Settles it. Black frees it up. Sends the ball in.
That one may have iced it.
Advances it. To Marco is go team. Let's go, Melonheads. Trip. Go. Tests the goalie. Puts it in.
That one may have iced it.
There's the whistle, and this game is history. This is
I love the game, folks. The Melonheads have slaughtered their opponent 9-1. Well, Sonny, the better team has won once again. What more needs to be said? The scoreboard says it all.
So you might notice that this looks a bit unfair at the moment, but I'm playing on the highest difficulty. When I was a very, 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 very little kid, this was actually the first of the backyard sports games that I ever played. And like an absolute idiot, I played my very first season on hard difficulty and lost every single game for my very first season. I eventually tried again the next season and got promoted to the next division, and then won the next one and got promoted, and then the next one, and eventually fought my way to the World Cup, and somehow won that one too. The game's difficulty on season mode gets progressively harder as you go into relegation, and the AI gets more aggressive the further your team progresses. So I could play another match right after, but I kind of have to get to the A division before things start to get a little challenging. So yeah, we're moving on.
This is SportsCenter.
Football.
Football!
For about 5 months out of the year, it seems as if nothing is more important to the average American man than football.
Football!
You have the legendary Monday Night Football on ESPN, the abysmal Thursday night game on Amazon Prime. Damn near every high school in America plays their football games on Friday nights. NCAA college football Saturday games all day, everywhere. And then Sunday is the big day for NFL games. That's a lot of football. And there's even more. They now have a spring football league with Rock, the Dwayne Johnson, as one of its owners. And there are even football games on Thanksgiving and Christmas, of all days. So there are new ways to ignore your family during the holidays. It was my absolute favorite sport to watch as a kid. I had football cards, I always went to the library to read Sports Illustrated Kids, and I even grew up watching episodes of A Football Life on NFL Network, which turned me into a purveyor of ultimate ball knowledge. When it comes to football video games, though, I am trash at Madden.
Around me are familiar faces.
I cannot read coverage to save my fucking life. No matter how bad I am at Madden, the game itself seems to get worse year after year. But before EA had their nasty, greedy, disgusting, filthy, money-grubbing hands in the pot and signed an exclusive agreement to become the only publisher allowed to make NFL video games, we had some very soulful arcade football games like NFL Blitz, NFL Street, and the backyard football games, which simplified the on-field personnel to 5-on-5 football to make it easier to understand if you're like 8 years old. When I was a kid, I first got my hands on Backyard Football 2002, but when I went to record gameplay footage for this one, there were files missing for the intro movie.
Donovan, looking deep, throws the long bomb down the right side.
And also for the touchdown celebrations. So instead of playing a scuffed game, I went with a classic Backyard Football from 1999. As soon as I hit the clubhouse, I went straight to the player cards. Not only did it have all the backyard kids that we've already grown to know and love,
is Pablo Sanchez.
Dudes like Drew Bledsoe, Jerry Rice, Steve Young, Barry fucking Sanders, Broncos legend John Elway, and Dan Marino, who at one point famously held like every passing record, were all in the game. And not only that, you get to listen to this fucking jock jam when selecting one of the pro kids. Right after checking out Who's Who, I went to the season board to sign up to coach a team. My very first pick this draft was Eagles and Vikings legend Randall Cunningham. Next up, I picked Pete Wheeler, whom is literally too fast to pass up. Dimitri was next because I can play him both on defensive line and at kicker. Pablo Sanchez because his athleticism made him, well, the ideal person to play receiver and at corner. Vicky Kawaguchi would make an amazing receiver and would be amazing to cover a corner. Keisha Phillips' combination of speed and defensive prowess made her my first choice at safety. And then Lisa Crockett at linebacker. After I drafted my team, I went to edit my playbook and then went and tested some of my new schemes in practice.
12, hey! Finish way!
That was good, right?
Once I got all the kinks ironed out, I started my season.
Are you ready for another unbelievable BFL season? It's raining cats and dogs at Parks Department Field number 3. This game is an important matchup between two of the top league teams. The New York Giants take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Today's two undefeated teams go head-to-head in what promises to be an exciting matchup. Hello, football fans. Welcome to another exciting afternoon of backyard football. I'm Sunny Day, and joining me is football legend Chuck Downfield.
Thanks, Sonny. It's a spectacular day for football. Yep, this brings back some memories. Football hasn't changed one bit since back when I was playing, except for one thing, Sonny. One of those things on their heads.
Those are helmets, Chuck. They protect your head.
Oh, wow. I really could have used one of those when I played. The first game of the season often sets the tone for the rest of the year.
All right. Paco will be starting it off. Vicky, to receive it, lets it drop. Catches it. We got him!
As the first play of the drive starts us off at our own 45-yard line, Randall was caught trying to run a bootleg and is promptly sacked for a 4-yard loss, but on 2nd and 24 connects with a thoroughly covered Vicky Kawaguchi for a first down. The very next play, 1st and 20 on New York's 33. Randall connects to Vicky yet again in double coverage for another first down to put us up at the 9-yard line. 1st and goal, 9 to go. And Randall is picked off in the end zone on the very next play of the drive. 3rd and 12 here on New York's first possession on their own 27, and the Giants come up with a big first down that would have ended in a touchdown if Pete Wheeler wasn't fast enough to stop it. 2 plays later, 2nd and 10, the Giants run the hocus pocus play to make wide receiver Chad Koppel completely burn Lisa Crockett for the first touchdown of the game. They then tack on the extra point to put themselves up by 7. They then tried and failed miserably for an onside kick, which puts us in pretty good field position to start the second quarter. Using the hocus pocus play and then passing to Pablo Sanchez when he completely disappears from the screen gives New York another interception, and I have now turned the ball over not only once, but now twice. Up next, the defense works very hard to come up with some big stops to hopefully get us the ball back before the third quarter. 3rd and 13 here. Dimitri, yet again, throws aside his assignment to come up with another big sack to bring up 4th down. Half of the second quarter is over, and we now have got to get down the field. 1st and 20, just inside New York's 50-yard line. Randall gambles this 1-to-1 coverage and connects with Pablo Sanchez to bring up 2nd and inches. I then called some tremendously bad plays and brought up 4th down, but then decided to go for it on 4th. 4th and 11 on the Giants' 40-yard line. Plenty of time here, got a good block going. Connects with Pablo Sanchez, one of the greatest backyard athletes of all time. Goes for 2 with the leapfrog play instead of the extra point, and we now have a 1-point lead late in the second quarter. And then the defense bails us out until halftime.
Hey-de-ho, football fans, it's halftime. The Eagles are ahead at the half, but it's a close one, 8-7.
I tell you, these guys are looking real good in the first half, but it was still a little too close for my taste. Let's see if they can blow them away in the second half.
Let's head back to the game.
Third quarter kicks off here, and 1st and 20 on their own 20-yard line, and Vicky comes up with a big interception to turn the momentum of the game. On their 20-yard line, Pete Wheeler gets the pitch to squeeze right through. 26-yard rushing touchdown for him. Point after is good, making the score 15-7. Big play here. Up next on defense, 1st and 20 on their own 33-yard line, and Keisha runs right over the block to come up with a big sack. 2nd and 26. Dimitri comes up with a sack of his own to make it 3rd and 32. And then we immediately got burned with a hocus pocus play by wide receiver Chad Copel. 3rd and 1 here on our own 13. Chad Copel under double coverage this time.
That is a touchdown!
And then they tie up the game with a 2-point conversion. The Giants then go for yet another onside kick and fail that miserably to end the third quarter. First play of the next drive, and the Giants are using the chameleon play to confuse us, but then we choose to run the ball right up the middle for a 14-yard gain instead of passing. 3rd and 10 here. Cunningham backs up to find both of his wide receivers preoccupied and connects with a wide open running back Pete Wheeler for a quick 1st down. Next play of the drive, 1st and goal on their 17. Both receivers under full man-to-man coverage. Randall still finds Pablo in the end zone for a touchdown. 22-15 here after the extra point. After the kickoff spots New York at their own 22-yard line, the Eagles defense gets straight to burning some clock. The Giants do pick up 17 yards on this possession, but then go 3 and out and force the punt. 8 seconds left now. 1st and 20 on our own 20. Inside handoff to Pete Wheeler gives up a fumble that the Giants defense immediately recover in the red zone with them down by 7. And we are now at risk of tying or even losing this game. It is time to lock the fuck in. 4 seconds left here. 1st and goal on the 14-yard line.
Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line. Unreal. Who almost made the phenomenal play?
Pete Wheeler. Right place, right time for the game-winning interception.
As my co-host would say, stick a fork in it, this one's done. The Eagles were winners today, 22-15.
The better team won today.
Until next time, this is Sunny Day and Chuck Downfield.
Work hard and all your backyard dreams will come true. So long.
Eagles brought it home 22-15 in dramatic fashion. Anyway, there probably is a whole lot more I can say about this game.
He'll cut, he'll fake, he'll shoot, he'll score!
There was already an original backyard basketball, but that one only had 2 pros, which was Lisa Leslie and Kevin Garnett.
Anything's possible!
This time around, we are checking out Backyard Basketball 2004. Now, this game was very simple, but had very addicting 3-on-3 arcade basketball. Unfortunately, this time around, they got rid of the clubhouse and replaced it with this menu, but sometimes things just change. And speaking of things changing, when I went to meet the players, the Backyard kids this time around looked like they were a little bit older, as if they were all about to enter middle school, which I thought was a very thoughtful design change on the part of the developers. Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Garnett, Pau Gasol, Paul Pierce, Tim Duncan, Shaq, Tracy McGrady, who you may know as the guy who scored 13 points in 30 seconds,
Read, nigga, read!
Ray Allen, Vince Carter, and Yao Ming all made up the cast of pros in this game. You grew up in this era.
Hey everybody, an old man's talking.
You might have a poster of one of these guys, although I don't know anyone growing up that had a Yao Ming poster, but moving on. Up next, I began my conquest of the Backyard Basketball Association by signing up to coach a season team. I picked up Keisha Phillips, Vicky Kawaguchi, Pablo Sanchez, Jocinda Smith, and Pete Wheeler. Once I had drafted my new championship dynasty, I started my season.
A big hi-ho to all you basketball fans out there. We're at Smith Brothers Stadium. It's the start of another season, and for one of these teams, it could be the start of a championship. The Washington Wizards versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Sunny day here, along with Barry DJ.
It is always a privilege to be with someone as talented and as lovely as you, Sonny. I'm really looking forward to today's game. These are 2 of my favorite teams. I'd like to take a moment to welcome our newest affiliate station, KNNY.
KNNY? Is that a radio station?
Sort of. My man Kenny and me have a Mr. Microphone and a boombox hooked up in the garage. When the volume is all the way up, we've got a broadcast range of 2 blocks.
It's game time! Here are the starting lineups. For the visitors, the starting forward, Timmy Unger. And the starting guard is Franklin Fufini. The starting center, Francesca DiDodo. For the home team, the starting forward, Jocinda Smith. And the starting guard is Vicky Kawaguchi. The starting center, Keisha Phillips. They're ready to tip things off at center court.
Nothing really too out of the ordinary to report here in the first quarter.
Timmy Unger scores the basket. Knocks down the jumper. She turns it away. Out of bounds. Last touch by the away team. It's good.
We are trailing, but not by much because we are answering back every basket.
Delivers one from 3-point land.
But we're still trailing. Jocinda does pick up this dunk power-up and just jams it home here, though.
She dunks it with authority. A player is down. He's fouled in the act of shooting.
We do send one of their kids to the foul line twice, but some very bright 3-point shooting from Vicky just barely keeps us in the game. Vicky was absolutely dialed in from long range.
Buries the 3. Vicky Kawaguchi sinks the 3-pointer.
We ended the first quarter down by only 4 points after Keisha went 1 for 2 at the free throw line.
The first period is history. They're starting to pull away. Wizards 26, 76ers 22. How do you like that first quarter of action, Barry?
The home team's got to get their game together and quick.
And with that, let's go back to the game, shall we?
For the second quarter, I decided to sit Keisha and Vicky to sub in Pete and Pablo. While they're on court, though, they do manage to catch up with some bright scoring from Pete.
Pete Wheeler puts it up. Francesco Dodo passes it up court.
That kid's dropping dimes all over the place. Better check for a hole in your pocket.
Intercepted.
And downtown from Pablo, with Pete getting a steal.
Kid.
Pete slams home a dunk.
Three is a magic number.
Pablo ends up going lights out multiple times to get us the lead late in the second quarter. We eventually ended this quarter down by 1, but we were shooting better than them, so I knew pulling away in the third quarter wasn't going to be a problem.
A great ball game so far. Wizards 46, 76ers 45. How would you sum up the first half, Barry?
It's a squeaker, Sonny, but I got a feeling our guys are going to pull this one out in the end.
Oop, I think the second half is about to begin.
For the third quarter, I had decided to play Pete, Keisha, and Vicky together. More brilliant shooting from Vicky keeps us in the game.
A three-pointer knocks down the jumper. Pete Wheeler tosses it to center.
He's got that jumper going on.
She dishes it to the guard. Vicky sinks the three-pointer.
But we sent them to the free throw line 3 separate times this quarter, which is not good.
She puts up the first one. Vicky Kawaguchi passes it up court.
Woo, that kid's passing out dimes like they were home. Somebody using super speed. I feel like everything is going super fast or something like that. Do you feel like that too, Sonny?
Kawaguchi fires one from three-point territory. She dumps off to the forward. She rejects it.
Get out and stay here.
Pete Wheeler gets it back. Passes it up court.
But bad shooting and better defense from both sides in the late stages of this quarter leaves us yet again down by 1.
You got to watch those white lines.
Very early, we pull out in front behind some very good 3-point shooting from Pablo.
Phillips dishes it to the wing. The three is good.
And a steal from Keisha.
She intercepts it.
That ball was repossessed.
Keisha tries for the easy layup. Francesco Dodo.
The Wizards try to keep up.
A three-pointer.
But then Pablo draining this 3.
Timmy Younger is deadly from out there.
From downtown.
And then going a perfect 3 for 3.
It's up. He puts up the second one.
Put us up by 5.
Thanks.
We then foul them and send them to the line.
Eclipses the 21.
But then we keep absolutely draining buckets.
Jumper. He steps in front of the pass.
Nice. That ball like a pair of tight pants.
Once we had pulled away with a comfortable lead, I subbed in Vicky and pulled away to end the game.
76ers.
Who's got that kid? Who's got that kid?
There's a power up on the court. Keisha
That
Phillips
kid.
dishes it to the wing. Vicky Kawaguchi lets loose the outside shot. Guard. Vicky takes the three-pointer.
It's just filthy from downtown.
Pablo Sanchez.
Rip that ball like a CD.
Finish. Tosses it to
Get
center.
that kid.
To Pace steps in front of the pass. The 76ers walk away with the W. 76ers, 93, Wizards, 86.
This team controlled the game the whole way and never looked back. That's the way to win ball games, Sonny.
I had so much fun with this game because the presentation was fun, the art style was updated, had a solid cast of pros I recognized from growing up, and getting a win on hard difficulty actually felt challenging and satisfying. Just a good backyard sports game all around. I highly recommend checking this one out if you can. And with that, we are moving on. We are now going to end the Backyard Sports Power Hour appropriately by moving on from the world's highest scoring sport onto one of the lowest. Hockey, the national sport of Canada. Hey yo, how many times is this dude gonna mention Canada? Right now, out of all the 5 major sports, hockey is my favorite one to watch. It's a sport that requires speed.
Bradley, Lehman, Anderson for the Maple Leafs. Score! Right off the bat, 5 seconds, McGillney! And what a way to start a hockey game!
It's a game of toughness. And because of which, sometimes they just let dudes go out there and have heavyweight bouts. What more out of a sport could you want? I started watching hockey about a year or two before these two human highlight reels entered the league, but this game came out years before Sid and Ovi were drafted, and my interest in the sport came from playing this game, so today, we are going to revisit it.
And pulls off to the hash marks. Ovechkin scores!
Take a minute here to appreciate this absolute jock jam main menu music. The first thing I did was check out the player cards to see who the pro players were. Absolute legends like Brian Leetch, Curtis Joseph, Jerome McGinley, Jaromir Jagr, Joe Thornton, Joe Sakic, Martin Brodeur, Mike Modano, Paul Kariya, you know, the off the floor, on the board guy, and Steve Yzerman were all part of the roster, and just a handful of names that made hockey watchable in the late 90s to the early 2000s. We are playing the Jersey Devils for the first game of the season, and the game's frame rate just dips right away. I tried messing around with some of the settings and still went and reinstalled the game's files.
Whoa! How'd they do that?
Busted. I was on the verge of giving up before realizing that the answer was right in front of me the whole time.
Hey there, all you hyped up hockey lovers. Sunny day, along with the kid with the titanium teeth, Buddy Check.
Oh, hey there, Sonny. It's like a real privilege to be here. It's the start of another season, a clean slate as it were, which means every team, no matter how cruddy they were in the past, has a chance to win the BHL championship.
Thanks, buddy. Say, I really like your jacket.
It's not a girl's jacket.
Okay then.
We got right in there in the first period. Here we're playing some great defense, getting some great shots on goal.
Great save! He brings it up the ice.
23 seconds into the goddamn first period. We then try to answer back after the face-off with a shot on goal, which is blocked by the opposing D-man. Puck is then recovered and taken coast to coast, and the shot is scooped up by Vicky, who passes to Jacinda, who takes a dirty hit in the Devils' defensive zone. Every time a dirty hit happens in the BHL, instead of fighting, it is resolved in a game of rock, paper, and scissors, with the loser taking a minor penalty.
It's gonna be rock. Pick rock.
Paper beats rock.
We pick rock and are beaten, so Jocinda has to take a 20-second minor penalty. We were all over the place on this penalty kill, but we got the job done. Both teams eat up about 20 seconds off the clock by trading offsides. 1:49 left of the first period, and off the face-off, Jocinda Smith just weaves past the defense to pull off this beautiful backhander to even the score at a goal apiece. A little bit later, we make this drop pass back to our own zone and bring up Angela, but she is immediately tripped, which then brings up our first power play, which then turns out to be really unproductive. After this nice shot on goal though, Jocinda Smith, right time, right place, beats both defenders, nice goal, high and tight in the slot with less than a minute to go in the first. Nothing else really happens aside from this blatant trip, which brings up a power play, which we then successfully kill going into the first intermission.
For the first period.
A good portion of the second period goes by without incident. We don't get too much going here. Angela blocks the shot on goal, and Vicky later gets a good save, but this dirty hit on Jocinda brings up a game of rock, paper, scissors, which we then promptly lose, and Jocinda has to go sit in the sin bin for a minor penalty. We then struggle for almost another 2 whole minutes to produce a single shot on goal. Like, it was almost laughable. This dirty hit on Dimitri now has us playing another game of Rochambeau, which we actually won for once, and we're now on the power play for the second time this game. Aside from this one instance where we had some extra space on the ice, we pretty much wasted this power play. Unfortunately, this child takes a rebounded puck coast to coast and rips this howitzer past Vicky mid-line change with 15 seconds left in the second period. But time runs out and we are now headed into the second intermission.
We're all tied up, 2-2-2.
It's intermission, which of course means one thing: dancing polar bears. Oh, we couldn't get the polar bears?
We are tied heading into the third, and we immediately come up with a shot on goal, only to spend a good 30 seconds of the period getting smothered.
Del Vecchio slapped. First goal of the game.
After the next face-off, we make some good plays. Dimitri gets a loose puck in our end. Saved by Vicky is dumped to the other end of the ice. Angela then makes a heads-up play on the dump and chase, wraps around for this shot. Seconds later, chases down her assignment to block a shot. What a two-way player. Dimitri scoops up another rebounded puck for another shot on goal. They try hard to keep us contained for the next while, but we continue to keep playing aggressively. So aggressively, in fact, that they scored a goal on themselves. We have been bailed out by the very rare own goal to tie up the game in the third. Less than 2 minutes to go after the next face-off, and we continue the pressure. Unfortunately, we get so aggressive, Pablo has to serve a minor penalty for roughing. Short-handed, we still continued to play as if we were at full strength, and due to the fact that we faced only one single shot on the penalty kill, I think I'm inclined to say that it actually worked. When we were right back to full strength, I could sense that they were starting to get desperate, which was starting to get evident by the amount of 1-on-3 situations the other team's winger was starting to put themselves in, but we kept playing our game the way we wanted to play it.
Here she comes with the puck now. Takes a shot. She takes it. Goes slow. Goes down hard. Here comes a snowplow. She throws one. What a great save! Brian Pulliam has it. Pulliam with the blast.
On this play, Angela is blatantly tripped, which brings up a minor penalty with 23 seconds to go. We immediately start passing around once we get possession of the puck to make some space on the ice for the attack, when Pablo is also tripped to bring up a 3-on-1 penalty to end regulation with 17 seconds to go, meaning we had to strike while the iron was hot. Your eyes do not deceive you. that is the greatest backyard athlete of all time. Pablo Sanchez, who has been a little bit quiet on his stat sheet all game, scoring the game-winning goal.
Dmitry Petrovic at center ice against Joan Sparrow. A player is down. He scores. That's his second goal of the game.
And then another one right after that.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
The Flyers. Get it, the Flyers. I kindly bring it up the ice. Angelo goes down hard.
Hey, boy, these guys played great!
The end of 3 periods tell us that even though we were outshot, our goalie was actually playing light years ahead of theirs, even though she got caught with a couple bad bounces. We played a much more disciplined game than they did, which is evidenced by the own goal in the third, and we played very patiently and made the most of our opportunities.
Now here's Buddy with a look at the 3 stars of the game.
Thanks, Sonny. Today's third star of the game is Vicky Kawaguchi. Today's second star of the game is Dmitry Petrovic. And today's first star of the game is Pablo Sanchez. Today's 3 stars are brought to you by the fine people at 110% Juice, the only juice in the world that defies mathematics.
Well, that'll do it. For my partner, Buddy Check, this is Sunny Day. So long, folks.
Even though this is only a 3-on-3 hockey game for kids, I like the fact that playing on the hard difficulty was actually challenging and that I could actually lose the game through all 3 periods. There's lots more in this game to see on Unlock, so I do actually really recommend that you give this one a try. But with that, the Backyard Sports Power Hour is now over. And that's all the games we have for you today. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This is probably the video I had the most fun making in the history of this channel, and for that reason I'm probably going to make more, which is a good thing because there were a few more games I wanted to get to, but this video is already long enough, so there's definitely going to be a part 2, and maybe I'll even be checking out some more old games on other consoles in the future. To some of you that have been waiting a year for a new video on the channel, I'm sorry. I've just been working on some longer projects like this one. I'm really trying to challenge myself and see what I can come up with, so thank you for your patience. I'll probably start making a new episode of the news at some point, but for the foreseeable future, I think I'm just gonna keep working on projects I think I can have fun with. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. It's time to get back to work on the next one, so until then, I've been Jermaine, and as always, thank you for watching.